Taylor's imperial phase with 1989, I mentioned that she had a tendency to sometimes punch down or weaponize her growing power in the music industry against her enemies.
Deviously clever, if I should say, tactics that for sabotaging the social media buzz of other artists, all to make sure that she remains glued to that #1 spot.
Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift are allegedly feuding, and this wouldn't be the first time Taylor feuds with a younger pop star. She and Olivia Rodrigo also supposedly had beef, and it's speculated that Olivia's hit song Vampire was about Taylor. But Olivia said, "I never want to say who any of my songs are about. I've never done that before in my career and probably won't. I think it's better to not pigeonhole a song to being about this one thing." This feud was allegedly started when Olivia had to give up writing credits on her song Deja Vu because of similarities to Taylor's Cruel Summer. These songs have a small similarity in the bridge where they both shout, but it's too insignificant. Unfortunately for Olivia, she fell victim to faulty copyright song laws. Taylor, on the other hand, was luckier because her song Shake It Off has striking similarities to Hey Mickey by Tony Basil. The beat and the visuals. Taylor's Wildest Dreams is similar to Lana Del Rey's Without You. These similarities are more significant than that Deja Vu and Cruel Summer Squint, yet no one wanted to take additional credit for Taylor's work. No one deserved additional writing credit on Olivia's song, and that's how the beef allegedly started. Now there seems to be tension between Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift. This one doesn't seem personal from Billie's side. It's more about the politics of the music industry, but Taylor did take it personally. Billie said, "It's some of the biggest artists in the world, making 40 different vinyl packages that have a different unique thing just to get you to keep buying more. It's so wasteful, and it's irritating to me that we're still at a point where you care that much about your numbers and you care that much about making money. And it's all your favorite artists doing that." Billie herself does put out multiple vinyls, but she uses 100% recycled black vinyl color variations, made from recycled scraps. The records are also packaged in shrink wrap made from sugarcane. She believes that there should be limits on vinyl musicians can put out, like, no more than 4 colors, for example. She doesn't necessarily fault artists for playing the #1 game, she says. "I was watching The Hunger Games, and it made me think about it because it's like we're all gonna do it because it's the only way to play the game. It's just accentuating this already kind of messed up way of this industry working." What Billie said was fair, and she didn't exclude herself from the issue. She just tries to make it environmentally friendly. But Taylor didn't seem to be a fan of what Billie said. So when Billie released her album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Taylor and her team tried to block Billie from getting the #1 spot by releasing multiple versions of her own album. She even collaborated with an environmental activist to get brownie points. But that didn't help because people know that she doesn't really care about her impact on the environment. This is the same Taylor that takes a private jet instead of doing half an hour's drive. This wasn't the first time Taylor attempts to block an artist from reaching #1. When she was feuding with Katy Perry, she released her albums on streaming services when Katy released her album Witness. When SZA's album was predicted to be #1 for the 4th week, Taylor dropped new album versions of Midnights. She also moved her album back when she learned that Adele was also releasing an album. So are all these coincidences, or is someone here just meticulously calculating? Taylor's behavior towards Billie and Olivia suggests that she may have a lingering insecurity around younger stars. In her song, Nothing New, she says, "I know someday I'm going to meet her. It's a fever dream. The kind of radiance you only have at 17. She'll know the way, and then she'll say she got the map from me. I'll say I'm happy for her, then I'll cry myself to sleep." She seems to have a problem with not being the center of attention.
The first time I was not a shiny new artist. I was on my 4th album, and I felt like, I think this happens to a lot of artists, where they have their breakthrough moment, and then the moment after that is really hard for them because they're just not getting the same. It's like the first time you walk into a room at a party and everyone's like, "Oh, Kevin is here!" When you have your breakthrough moment, like, "Kevin!" And then the next time you walk in, they're like, "Sup?" Yeah. And then the third time you walk in, they're like, "So what do you want to do tomorrow?" You got, and they're just talking. And you're like, "But I'm here."
Billie obviously doesn't draw inspiration from Taylor, But Taylor's volatile disposition suggests that she's aware of how people and the media may perceive her, and she's easily on the defense. When Billie made those comments about multiple vinyl releases, it wasn't aimed at anyone in particular, but the shoe fit Taylor perfectly. She's the biggest perpetrator, so she got offended. Nevertheless, Billie Eilish still earned the highest first-week sales of her career, which is still a win. She's in her own lane, still building a loyal fan base, and her music is a breath of fresh air to current pop radio. Her album charted at number 2, which is still good when you're up against a veteran like Taylor Swift. Taylor, on the other hand, has been saturating the market with her music and overlooking the quality. She won the number 1 spot on the chart, but she lost many hearts as she comes across as vengeful and only caring about chart placements and not the craft. Her beef with Billie is very much one-sided, uninteresting, and unnecessary.